Well, funding the country's infrastructure drive is less of a challenge than the state's capacity to see it through. That's just one of the concerns emerging at this year's Sustainable Infrastructure Development Symposium. eNCA's business editor, Devan Murugan, has this angle of the story.
A year after the first infrastructure symposium, roads are being upgraded, bridges are coming up, but not at a pace that would create mass employment or that will address the big infrastructure deficits that we have. In fact, only a third of the 62 projects that were given the official go-ahead last year are in construction phase. And plugging the 440 billion rand funding gap for this year's set of projects announced at this symposium is one thing. The state's capacity to accelerate them is another.
Once the money is secured, then we give it to the project owner, because we don't own project, we don't conceive of project, we don't sit with such a mandate. That mandate is sitting with the various departments. And then the departments don't have a sense of agency, and that's the problem that we have. So part of the solution to that is we must be allowed to have sight of the procurement process.
Then there's also the question of skills at the municipalities where these projects are needed desperately.
We've lost a lot of human and professional capacity in the state over the past decade. In my view, that's the big binding constraint. That's the #1 reason why we're not making the kind of progress we would like to see.
Just getting the right technical skills to be in the right positions in many of these municipalities. So the state needs to resolve that question. And remember, local government is an independent sphere of government. So you can't go in that space and impose yourself. So it's important that those conversations must happen within the parameters of the law.
Ramokgopa concedes that government's credibility is at stake if projects aren't accelerated. Devan Murugan, Johannesburg.